Hi students, so for lesson number 21, it's pretty simple. It's not any different from what we've gone over before. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to change 8.5 to an improper fraction, right? 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17, and you keep the denominator, so that becomes 17 halves. And then we're flipping this, and then obviously, because this class is all conceptual, you have to explain why. So right, first, the meaning of this number sentence. It's asking how many copies or how many times 3/4 fits into 8 1/2. So, right, that's step one. Step two, in order to figure that out, you want to figure out how many times 3/4 fits into 1 BMU. So here's a diagram of 4/4. Here's a measuring unit of 1/4. Here's 1 BMU, right? 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. And here's our group. Here's 1, 2, 3/4. So that's one group, and this represents a third of a group. Okay, so how many times does 3/4 fit into 1 BMU? 1 1/3 times, or I could change that to an improper fraction and say 4/3 times. Now, last but not least, or close to last but not least, since there are 8.5 BMUs in the dividend, then 3/4 will fit into 8.5 BMUs, 8.5 times as much as it fits into 1 BMU, right? And then everything after that is pretty much just your calculation, right? So 3/4 fits into 8.5 BMUs, 17 half times 4/3, that's 68/6. Or 11 into 6 times. 6 goes into 68 11 times, that's 66, and then there's 2 left over to get to 68. Fear not, for number 4, it's the same thing. Just because this is now an improper fraction, because this is an improper fraction, it doesn't change anything. It's the same idea. So the meaning of this, how many times does 1 1/4 fit into 2 1/8, right? So to do this, figure out how many times so first off, I changed this to 5/4. To do this, figure out how many times 5/4 fits into 1 BMU. So again, here's a BMU of 4/4, here's 1/4, here's a BMU, here's 5/4, which is my divisor, that's this, right there. And remember, because your divisor is bigger than 1 BMU, only part of it is going to fit. Let me repeat that. 1 1/4 is larger than 1. So one whole copy of it won't fit. Only part of it is going to fit. So what part of it will fit? This part. 1, 2, 3, 4/5 of it, okay, is going to fit into 1 BMU. So 4/5 of 5/4 fits into 1 BMU. So we have 2 1/8 BMUs, right? Since there are 2 1/8 or 17/8 BMUs, then 5/4 will fit into 2 1/8 BMUs, 2 1/8 times as much as it fits into 1 BMU. Right? It's like if you went to the supermarket and you bought a banana, you bought a banana for 50 cents. Well, if you wanted 8.5 bananas, you would just times 50 cents by 8.5. It's the same idea here. So 17/8, that's 2 1/8 when you change it to an improper fraction, times 4/5. 4/5 is the reciprocal. It's the number of times 5/4 or 1 1/4 fits into 1 BMU. And you get 68/40 or 1 28/40. And that's that. I'm not going to go over all of them because they're pretty much the same thing, but you get the idea. If you need any help with this, let me know.